Hey, well, welcome. Yeah, this is about LifeWave X39. Look, if you know me, Malcolm Wallace, I'm all about helping people. You've heard that before, right? But I'll tell you what, the person that brought you here, that wants you to share this, they're about helping people. Why? Because it worked for them. So I'm not going to talk about a company. I'm not going to talk about all sorts of things like making money or any of that. I'm just here to help. This was amazing for me. Breakthrough stem cell technology. Look, we're all sick, right? Our bodies have an injury. That's what happens when you're sick. Your body's got an injury. And be it an injury, it affects our heart, our lungs, your nervous system, joints, blood, whatever it is. Look, I could go on and on. But we all suffer. You see, we're made of cells. That's what it is. Trillions and trillions and trillions of cells. And you know, the greatest form of any injury is inflammation. And that's what it is. Inflammation is from cells. So I could show you science. I could show you all sorts of things. But I'm going to talk to you about real life here. The person that brought you here just wants to help. I just want to help. I've had incredible success. Activate stem cells. That's what LifeWave X39 patch does. It activates stem cells. Now look, we could talk about this pain relief and reduced inflammation and energy and clarity and enhance all this stuff. You put a patch on your neck or you put it just below your belly button. But we're not going to get into all that science. You see, how's this amazing technology work? I could spend ages with you talking about, look, listen to this. Light therapy called photobiomodulation over most people's head. LifeWave patches contain a very specific combination. Obviously, the patches don't help you talk. Organic materials and crystals. And when they're applied near your body, the body heat and the light activates the patch. And they begin to emit a very specific wavelength, the light. And that stimulates targeted beneficial biomedical responses in the body. It's known as photobiomodulation. Phototherapy patches. Whew, that's a lot of science, right? Yeah, it's simple. You walk outside in the sun, one of the frequencies of sunlight, when it hits your skin, creates vitamin D. Another one of the frequencies in sunlight, when it hits chlorophyll, the 38th element on the periodic table, when sunlight, if one of the frequencies of light hits chlorophyll, it creates oxygen. So we want to create stem cells, and that's how this works. So let's get, I tell you what, forget about the science. I'm going to prove it. Facts, right? That's what it's about. I want to help you. You see, this is about healing. I want you to think about getting your life back. Look, you know, some people tease me if I say this because I'm only 5'4". But it's not because I'm 5'4" that in my kitchen on the second cupboard there's hardly anything. That's because I'm older. I see my little one sneaking around behind me. It's because I'm older. I'm in my 60s. And you know, when you've seen what's happened to me in my life and the things I've done to myself, I had, not anymore, I had really bad shoulders, really bad neck. So you know, to reach up to that cup, the second shelf on the kitchen cabinet, it was too painful. It just hurt too much, right? So what'd I do? I'd have to get a kitchen chair and stand up on that. Well, then what happens? 6 knee surgeries and everything else I've done to myself. I have a heck of a time hopping down off that kitchen chair back down the kitchen table. So you know, I have to compromise in my life. You compromise in all sorts of things. Going through the shopping center to find the escalator because you can't go up or down. You go back down. Look, I'm talking about me. Think about yourself. Just think about all those things that you suffer from, right? You just can't do what you used to do. You know what it's like. Well, wound healing. This is what it's about. A specific copper peptide that these patches activate our body to release creates stem cells. And those stem cells heal. So whether it's a sickness inside, and I've been through cancer 3-4 times, or whether it's some heart, whatever it is, or how about I show you what it can do on the outside? There's actual proof. And if it does it on the outside, it's doing it wherever our cells need it. So let's have a look. It's more like what we can understand, right? So over here, here's a good friend of ours in this LifeWave team, Dr. Lisa Geddes. And you know, she had a scooter and she took a spill. Ow, man, that looks bad, right? But she was smart enough to take her X39 stem cell patch herself, and 2 days later, you see, that's what we're talking about, cell regeneration. You know, Jim here, he likes surfing, he likes being an outdoor boy. He had an accident, got cut with his fin of his surfboard, slashed it right there. You can see the bone there. Slashed it down the bottom. Yeah, I bet you that really hurt. So what did his mother tell him to do? Put some patches on. So he did. And the swelling, and the next day, instead of being all black and blue and swelling up, he had to get 2 stitches on the inside and 8, what's it say on here? It says how many stitches? 8 stitches on the outside. And then look what happens after 8 days. Right? Cell regeneration. This is real truth. This is real fact. This is what's helping. So this is helping on the outside of your body. It's helping on the inside. You know, Christine, her son, I tell you, she was pretty upset at him. Yeah, he's got a job interview coming up, and he does a face plant on his snowboard. Look at the mess. So what happens? She tells him he's got a patch. So the next day, look how quick this is healing. This is cell regeneration. Stem cells are the cells that all of our cells begin with. So if it's going to heal here in our body on the outside, it's also healing what's on the inside. And that's, you know, part of my testimony. So look what happens, day 5. You see what I'm talking about? This is real. I know we can go through all the science and everything. Think about your body, eh? The backbone. How many people have that problem? I had that problem. How about this? The knees. 6 knee surgeries. How about your hips? How about your hands? How about your feet? I'll tell you one. You know, you could probably relate to this. I'm 61. And in the morning, I like making a rocket fuel coffee. But you know what I used to do? I used to have to go and find my wife. Lucille, call out, find where she is. Why? Because I could not unscrew the cap on the milk in the morning. My hands, you know, all those years of boxing and everything I did wrong and all the breaks and everything, I just couldn't do it. Now I don't even think about it. Get your life back. It's about all those little nagging, horrible things, all those really annoying big things you have, start growing again like you're a baby. You know, when you're a kid, you just heal. So here we are. Here's a typical shot. Looks like my knees, right? You want to get them back? You want them to grow from this mess back to the way they should be? Stem cells. I talked about my back and shoulders. I bit it. I was going to put a picture in here. I bit it in a Bronco in 1988, Ford Bronco. I flipped it 6 times, end on end. And this is what the inside of my shoulders looked like. My scapula and everything was all replaced. I ripped all of the ribs off my spine. My top of my arm here and the ball here is all replaced. Sorry, went the wrong way. All replaced. Artificial. Replaced. So now, paying the price, you know, 30, 40 years later, really bad shoulder, frozen shoulder, can't do anything with it. But you know what? Using this, I'm not talking about next day. You know, it's 40 years of an injury there. But over a matter of weeks, now my life's back. I go to the beach and I don't mind getting on the sand with my kids and not worrying about having to get back. Think about your life, right? Think about your life. Get your life back. That's what we're talking about here. Now look, you might not be suffering from injuries, but you're just getting old and you go, whoa, I wish I could keep working out. Or you don't have the energy to work out. Or you work out and you're sore afterwards. Whatever. Look, I'm talking about being young. That's what this is about. This is about, testimonies, being young. So look, going to the gym, feels like he can push 100% the next day, Shane says. Jane says, look, I could be there for another 2 hours from what I normally is. Dave Jumper, a real good friend of mine, doing extremely well financially with this company. You know, he'd go to the gym, and what would happen for 3 days? He normally felt hurt, in pain. Now, he's doing fabulous. You should see the man. He's looking fantastic. So, let's not talk about me. I'm going to try this here. I'm going to let David Schmidt, the founder and CEO of this company, a man that's brilliant, right? A great scientist. He's the researcher. 70 patents. Not like these companies patent pending. 70 patents issued already. That's millions of dollars you got to spend to get that done. And it's got to be real science. With 30 more patent pendings. All of our clinical studies, 20 years of experience, all of this for phototherapy, for what I'm talking about. So I'm going to let David Schmidt tell you. Let's see if this works. I'm going to put what I've got on my YouTube channel, and away we go.
All right. And another thing I want to get started with is I want to share you, this is hot off the press, I want to share you a testimonial on X39 that's going around. And we're going to start this off because we still have people that are logging in, and I want to give them another moment to get on. So here's a little bit of the backstory here. This is from parents of a 6-year-old boy. Now, the 6-year-old boy caught his finger in a door, and this severed the fingertip off the finger. So they rushed him to the hospital and to reattach the finger. Now, the first thing is doctors told the parents that the finger was going to die, and that it didn't make sense to reattach it, but what they would do is take skin off of the thigh and simply cover up the end, and that would be it. And the father pleaded with the doctor to reattach it. And the doctor said, well, it's not going to work, but okay, we'll do it. So just as the doctor predicted, the tip of the finger began to die. So at this point, they apply X39 and carnosine. Now keep in mind, they said that this wouldn't even work. And look what happens 2 months later. And I'll minimize that. 2 months after applying X39 and carnosine, the finger looks brand new. Now, not only that, there's another view of it. Not only that, when the doctor saw the results, he was absolutely shocked. And he said, first of all, this shouldn't be possible. Secondly, even if something like this were possible, it would take 12 months to see this level of healing. So there you have it. New testimonial on wound healing, absolutely incredible. And our prayers and thanks go out to this family, and so happy that this young boy could experience this healing, supportive healing with X39 and carnosine. So let's understand.
So that's what we're talking about, folks. Real healing, right? The boy gets his finger back. So let's move on. I'm telling you, it's just about you getting your life back. X39 stem cell and activation patches. You know what? People spend every time I call up some person, they tell me their sister, their brother-in-law, whatever, $38,000 in Mexico, or they went 80,000 to Israel, or they went somewhere else, because most of the stem cell therapy is outside the United States. Expensive. Hollywood's all over it. Everybody's all over it. It works, but it's so expensive. How about this? A cup of coffee a day, $3 a day. Feel, look, perform, and start living younger. You know, folks, it's just about asking yourself the question. You want to start activating your stem cells? Contact the person that brought you here. Get back to them. I mean it. You know what? It's time when someone says, let's go do this, and it involves something about living. Instead of feeling old, instead of feeling hurt, instead of feeling sorry for yourself, instead of feeling I can't, instead of feeling I wish, I wanted to, all of that stuff, start saying this to yourself. Say to yourself, you bet, it's time. You bet, count me in. Thanks.